And on the directions, it says to release the mouse, you take cooking oil and you pour it on there, and that'll help unstick them. But you've got to, it says on the directions, so I'm not making this up, to take them at least a mile from your house to let them loose. It just so happened this guy lived a mile down the road. It's just one of those coincidences that... But other than that, and we only did it twice. Other than that, we waited. We didn't talk bad about him. We didn't call up everybody. When we waited, we ended up moving from that town. And the whole time we were there, people talked to us, and it was weird because people were like, maybe you should leave. And I mean, it was just weird. And even here, when we moved here, because of who he was able to influence, or not influence, but talk to people here about us, and it just got weird. We waited and waited. 2.5 years this went on. One day I was Googling his name on the internet because I still wasn't completely over it. And his name popped up with a video, and I'm thinking, oh great, now he's got this internet video. He's, Mr. Popularity. And on the video, it was him, and I hate to say this in a gloating way, and so I'm not trying to gloat, but it was him actually being arrested for something that he had done. And I began receiving emails and calls from people from that town. Hey man, I'm sorry. We shouldn't have listened to him about you. We shouldn't have heard what he had to say. We had the wrong impression. But we waited, and when we wait on God, God will move on our behalf. God will work on our behalf. That's what he wants to do. He wants to move. So we need to ask him first. We need to get him involved. Secondly, we need to wait on God to move, because what happens is this: when we don't wait patiently on God, we get off course. When we don't wait patiently for God to move, when we just go off on our own, we're going to get off course. And again, I think I'm like the king of this. And there was actually a song written about me. And so I just want to play that for you real quick, if you guys can play that song.
I'm in a hurry to get things done, oh I rushing for life's in a hurry and don't know why. Don't know why I have to drive so fast. My car has nothing to prove. It's not you, but it'll
do. This song applies to you, and you know it too, right? When we get in a hurry, life becomes no fun. We get off course. We get ourselves into bad situations. When you're in a hurry, you can get yourself in a bad situation with debt. Hey, man, I had to buy that then. Or the guy was offering such a good special, and if you bought it then, you got this extra sham wow or whatever. I hope you guys aren't laughing at me. But when you hurry, you'll get into debt, and as we all know, debt can just tie you down, and it can make life no fun. Sometimes we'll hurry and try to move relationships faster than they need to be moved. And we'll get into relationships, whether they're romantically or friendships, that we don't want to be in. We can move too fast in a business partnership. Think we have such a great idea. We don't even need to wait on God. This is a great idea. This is going to work, and we'll make a business partnership or business decision too fast. Even driving out there on the roads, so many accidents could have been avoided had someone not been in a hurry, had someone just been patient and waited. So many things, even in my own home, could have been avoided if I wouldn't have hurried up and said those thoughts that I thought needed to be said. But if I would have patiently waited on God to correct me and give me better words, wiser words, when we wait patiently on God to move, we're not going to get off course. We're not going to end up in those situations that make life no fun. I remember a couple of years ago, we were in a staff meeting. It's probably been 2.5 years ago. And Pastor Bailey said something that has just stuck with me. We all know the quote that says, why put off until tomorrow what can be done today? And that's a good quote, and of course we need to be diligent. But he kind of reversed it. He said, why do today what can be put off until tomorrow? That you can wait until you hear from God. This is the decision that needs to be made. This is the action you need to take. And I know, at least in my life, those words have rung true in the past, and I try to remember those things. Why do today what can be put off till tomorrow? Give God some time to make decisions for you, to intervene on your behalf. And don't get off course by hurrying. When we wait patiently on God, we are strengthened. When we wait patiently on God, we're going to be strengthened. We're not going to be tied down and burdened and weakened. We are going to be strengthened. It says, Psalm 27:14 says this, wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. God wants you to be strengthened, to be able to go from day to day in your life with strength and courage. Psalm 62:1 says this, I wait quietly before God, for my victory comes from him. When you and I learn to wait and not to move through life so fast, we're going to see victory start to happen. Why? Because of how special we are? No, because God will bring us the victory. It may be a week, it may be a year, it may be 2 years, but we need to learn to wait patiently on God. In a very familiar passage, Isaiah 40:31 says this, but those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. That can be us. That can describe us, on wings as eagles and walking and not fainting. If we choose to wait on God, we ask God to be involved in our lives, and then we wait for God to move. And we remember to put off things that don't need to be decided today. I believe we are strengthened for 2 reasons when we wait on God. Number 1 is because God intervenes. I would much rather be in a situation that God has created for me than one that I moved quickly and created for myself. I remember not too many years ago, I was struggling with some debt I had gotten into, and I prayed for months. God, please help me. God, please help me. God, make this happen. God, make that happen.